So, pretty bored. I've got the flu or something like that, some garbage, and couldn't go to school today. Stuck at home, probably for 3 more days. My friend tested positive for the H1N1 virus, which is the flu, and I've been hanging out with him for a while. So more than likely, since he's been coughing on me and stuff, I've got the same thing. So I'm just gonna go get checked out, and I've already been medicating for it anyway, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, I figured I'm gonna show you how to make a cake since, well, I live alone and generally don't have many friends around here. My closest friends live at least an hour away, so unlikely they're stopping by for cake tomorrow. So we're gonna make ourselves a cake. First of all, I'm pretty sure most of you guys don't know what a cake is. You know what a cake is, but you don't know what a cake is. You don't know how to make one. So I'm gonna show you what a cake really is. This is not a cake. It's not a cake. I'm sorry. This is cake mix. Mix. See this? It's white stuff. It's a combination of flour, butter, water, eggs, milk, sugar, etc. Not cake. It's cake mix. Next thing I'm going to be teaching you about is the tools. So, this is a mixer. Handheld. This is a mixing bowl. Notice how big it is. These are beaters. Do not get beaters mixed up with whisks. Huge, huge mistake. Don't do it. There's a big difference too, by the way. I'll go ahead and tell you. A beater, it beats it together, but it doesn't blend it really, really, really good. It does mix it well, but it doesn't thicken it. A whisk will. Difference is between eating a cake brick and eating a moist, soft, airy cake. Huge difference. So, then you have butter. Note to self. There's a huge difference between butter and margarine. Margarine is disgusting, and it's bad for you. It's like a molecule away from plastic. This is butter. It's milk, pretty much, and salt. You can tell the difference between margarine and butter, not even with the box, just simply by taking it out and sticking it on the countertop. If it starts to get soft and squishy, it's butter. If it's still hard as a brick, it's margarine. So, next you have eggs. The box will usually claim this is a large egg. This is not a large egg. Don't get them mixed up. This is a medium egg. For 3 large eggs, you want 4 medium eggs. This is decoration icing. I generally don't ever use this. This will actually be the first time I'm working with this, but I'll teach you about the tips. Alright, you've got, usually in your standard Walmart pack, you've got 4 tips. I'll teach you about the writing ones first. There's a difference. You see the hole here and the hole here. Notice they're smaller. One is smaller than the other one. See the one right here? This one right there? This one's for drawing and decoration. This one's for writing. Don't get them mixed up. Now you also usually come with 2 more. You've got your star tip, generally used to do the borders. And you've got your leaf decorator, usually used to do any kind of wall you want to use or leaves. Now I'll show you how to do those real quick. Well, leaves anyways. Alright, check it out. If you want to get practice, which is what I'm doing, doesn't take too much. You take it, you get it to where the 2 smaller ones are on top and bottom, and you have the wider spread ones going outward left and right. See that? Just like that. You'll take it, you'll put it on the paper. Can y'all see? You'll squeeze gently. It'll spread outward. Then you bring it down. Makes a leaf. See? Now, one thing you want to watch is you don't want to let it string out too much like this one did. It doesn't look good on a cake. Generally want to hold it for about a half a second and then start pulling downward. It looks pretty good, leaves. Alright, so that's pretty much the decorating aspect. Now, another key note. After you pick up your beaters, you look inside the mixer. You see those two prongs? You see these two thingies on the side? Yeah, you take these, you line them up, you push them in, and it grabs it. If you got that much slack, you're good. If you got that much slack, you're screwed. Another thing you might want to do before you turn anything on, make sure you got power. I'd usually reset the thing, but I ain't got to worry about it since I don't use it often. Now once you stick it in, you've got your speeds. Observe. You've got generally what? Mine's got 1 through 6. 1 and 2 are low. 3 and 4 are medium. 5 and 6 are high. Pretty sure I can do basic math. If you have a 9 mixer, 1 through 3 are low. 4 through 6 are medium, and 7 through 9 are high. Now, after that you've got pans. These are 9 by 2 inch. Now if you'll notice, I haven't buttered them yet, which I'll be doing in a second. Now I'll show you why I waited. Now you'll notice that they have a slight tilt on the side. Well, that's pretty simple. When you flip it over, it comes out instead of grabbing onto the side. Now, this is vegetable oil. When you actually go to pour it, sit it on the countertop. Don't hold it up in the air. Don't be like, is it there yet? Don't do that. You'll end up with too much of something. Same thing for the water. My best suggestion for you is before you make anything, set it on the countertop. If it's eggs or milk, you want to keep it in the fridge if you're going to take a long time. Me, I left it out because it ain't going to take me long. Now, I'm going to show you what a stove looks like. That's a stove. See that black thingy? Most of you guys probably don't know what that does. Sucks. You see those little knobs right there? Right there? They have these little thingies on the top, right above them. Generally it's 1 through 9. That's on the knob. If you're touching a knob and you're trying to bake something, you're in the wrong area. Generally for your oven, it has the word oven over it and has about 10-15 numbers. If they're 3-digit, you're right. If they're 1-digit, you're wrong. What you do is you'll take it, generally turn it to 350. You want to preheat before you start baking, before you even start setting stuff on the counter. That way, when the oven is ready by the time you're done mixing, which I'm about to go turn it on now. Now some keen hints about an oven. If you don't clean your oven properly, everything you bake will taste like crap. Everything you cook will taste like crap. Pro tips about your objects. When you get done cleaning it, smell it. I use one type of soap. I'm about to grab it and show you. This is Dawn antimicrobial hand soap. It's a detergent, but it's also antibacterial. The reason why you want to differentiate between antibacterial and just regular detergent is simple. You don't kill the germs with detergent. Detergent takes rock particles and solid particles off of objects. So think about it. You're picking off the objects, you're not picking off the dirt. And well, you're picking off the dirt, you're not picking off the germs. Another thing, when you smell it, when you smell food, well, smell pretty much anything, it's not clean. Wash it again. Now, we have icing. It's icing. Generally what you want to do is you want to figure out how much icing you got. If it says ice an entire layer cake, that means a cake with more than one layer. That means more than one cake. Technically, if I were to fill this with batter and then stick it in the oven, it'll bake. Well, besides rising, it's going to be one cake. You stick 2 cakes on top of each other, you have what's called a layer cake. That's what we'll be making. We're making a simple 2-layer cake today. Now, after you got all your ingredients set out on the table, oh, another thing. There is a difference between vegetable oil, olive oil, and canola oil, as well as grilling and cooking oil. Make sure you know the difference. Make sure you read the bottle. Now, after you got everything set up, which first things you're going to do is, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the eggs. So, take a bowl, quick tap on the side, break it open. Generally, it's smart to add them one at a time. I generally like to stick the egg back into the carton to hold it temporarily, so that way I don't have it laying on my countertop like I do right now. Another thing you want to watch out for is eggshell fragments in the eggs. I'm going to take these out. I'm also going to pull off effectively what would be the umbilical cord to the egg. I don't like those. They're gross. Just dump that back in the shell. I got an eggshell fragment I got to get out real fast. Hang on. There we go. There we are. Sweet. Alrighty, I'll grab that one too. Don't want a crunch in my cake. No. Come here. There we are. Gross, but whatever. I'm not gonna sit here trying to grab it all day. Finish cracking these other two open. One thing I will tell you is that if you generally drive your thumb into the eggshell, you're gonna get fragments on the other side. Just to let you know. What I would also suggest doing is checking your egg. I don't really have to worry about these, but if you got spots in your egg, generally the egg's bad. By the way, I don't think eggs expire. But then again, if you have an egg in the fridge for over a year, don't use it, just trash it. Alright, so we got our eggs open. We've got our stuff ready. You got your bag. Two things I will tell you. Do not grab it like this and squeeze. You're going to send mix everywhere. What you want to do is, you'll take it when it's like this. You take it, grab these tops, tap it on the counter about 3 or 4 times till all the batter's gone. Grab it on both sides, pull outward. You can also use scissors or your teeth. Take it, open it, pour it in. Shake it. Pull it up, put it on the side. Now, got that out of the way. Okay. Alright. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and get this in there. Now, for you guys, I've held onto the box so y'all can read it. See, this is a box the mix is in. See, it's got these great instructions in the back. Y'all who don't know what you're doing should read them. It's 4 steps, real simple. I think this one wants me to moisten it, but it's whatever. You'll take the stuff and you'll beat it in slowly. So, for me, that's going to be about 1. Yeah, I'll use 1. Now, as you've probably seen these before in action, one thing you know they do is they spin. Whee! If you take it like this and throw it in here, bad stuff will happen to you. Yeah, it locked. Okay, so now, gonna dump it in, add my eggs. Now I'm gonna take my oil, I'm gonna go ahead and add that too. Then I'll start adding my water. Generally a good idea is to take these, spin it in circles, counterclockwise, and then clockwise. And then keep rotating as needed to beat everything up real nice. Now the cake that I'm making is just your regular spice cake. It's got a nice caramel color to it. It's pretty good. I don't know how many of you actually had it before, but I like it. By the way, y'all might think this is kind of girly or whatnot, but one thing I'll tell you, women like guys who can cook. They really like guys who can bake. I'm not going to actually have it on the stove for the entire time, waiting for it to preheat and to cook. So after this, I'm going to cut this off. Well, I'm going to pause it, and then I'll take it out and I'll show you how to ice it, which you can't ice a cake, I'm sorry, but you don't deserve to live. Now, after you've blended it in really well, you want to make sure you beat it up really nice till it's got a not quite soupy texture, but it's got a liquid. It's got a fluid feel to it. Then once you've got all of it mixed in, then you'll turn it up to about 4. Tilt it slightly and you can spin faster. So you're going to beat it for about 2 minutes after you turn it to medium. By the way, mine's a Black & Decker, but I bought it because it's black. Most of my stuff is black. I like that way. It all matches. Oh, another thing I should mention. When you have instructions on the box and it says dark pans, if it's black, it's dark. If it's shiny, it's light. Just for y'all who can't differentiate between colors, or if you're blind. I think for blind people it'll be gray if it's light. Alright, so now the cake is mixed up pretty good. It's been about 2 minutes. I'm going to take these and set it over the napkin. The reason why I want to do that is because it's going to drip. It's kind of gross if it's all over your countertop. Now, see that? It's nice and soupy. Should be a little bit thicker, but it's alright for now. This isn't a wonder cake, it's just a regular cake. It's going to be moist, which is good. You're going to pour about half and half into both. One thing I will tell you about batter, it does this wonderful thing called it fills in the space. Expands. And if you do the dumb thing, like some people try to do, and dump it all into one layer, you're going to have this nice, really ugly thing sticking out the top and all over the place, and it's a huge mess, takes you forever to clean up, and then I'm going to laugh at you, of course. But, yeah. That's just me. Now, I'm going to get it all out. I don't generally eat batter. It's gross. Don't eat raw eggs. Now, you'll notice on most stoves, once it's done preheating, light comes on. It says preheat complete. Now, I'm going to go take these, we're going to toss them in the oven. Notice, for your pan sizes, it's got this nice little thing called a time. Make sure you know what pan you have. There's 8-inch round, there's 9-inch round, then you've got your 11 by 9s, and you've got your 13 by 9s. I don't even know what a bunt that is. And then you got your cupcakes. Generally, cupcakes come in a 12 or 24. There's a couple 6 pans, but I don't ever use those. But for us, we have a 9-inch by 1.5-inch, so we're going to do 28 to 31 minutes. Now that's just an estimate. Whenever the cake is done, it's done. Dang, I just realized I didn't butter or flour it. Oh well, not really a big deal. I'll clean up the mess later. But now we're going to go take this, we're going to put it in the oven, so after it's done I'll continue on.